What is up, YouTube? Jonny here again today, and we're gonna be bringing you a new video. But this time it isn't gonna be on one of my cars. It's gonna be on this. This is a 2010 Ford F-350 4x4, which is what we used to haul cars around. We hook up the trailer to it, throw a car on it, and that's how we get from point A to point B when we buy cars that are damaged, that aren't, able to drive underneath or under their own power. So what we're gonna do is fix it up a little bit, just because we've had it for a while and we needed tires. We wanted to make it look a little bit nicer. So what we did is we installed some factory size BFG all-terrain KO2s, which is the newest tire that they've come out with, and just some Eagle alloy wheels, which are here, they're made here in America, the US, and there's actually a company here in Phoenix that I could just go pick them up. So I did all that in one day, just went to go buy stuff. We have all the connections here in town, which is one of the reasons I love living here in Phoenix. But the video is gonna be about installing the fender flares for it. So in case you have another truck, you have a Chevy or a Dodge, it's most likely gonna apply the same, because these fender flares, they make them all the same to be able to install into your trucks. So let me go ahead and show you the product. All right, guys, so when you're looking around to order your kit, whatever fender flare kit you want for your specific truck, what you want to make sure is that it comes with 4 fender flares, so 1 for each side. That's pretty obvious. But you also want it to come with its hardware and this little rubber lining, which is going to go around the outside of the fender flare to make sure that it's not rubbing on your OEM paint, and then eventually it just wears it out, and then you have rust and all kinds of stuff that's not good. So this kit isn't an actual riveted kit. It's supposed to have the rivet style look. So these are actually the bolts for the rivet. This right here is what comes in the little hardware packet. It's just basically for looks. The way that they get bolted on is in the front. There's actually already bolts for the F-350. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be using a 5.5mm socket to be able to take out those bolts and then just bolt these on. So that's gonna be bolted on through the bottom, essentially right here of the fender flare, and that's gonna hold it in place. For the back ones, there's no bolts in that one. So in the hardware kit, it comes with a little not plastic clip, it's a metal clip. So with this metal clip, what you do is you just basically click it in through the back, and it holds your fender flares. So that should be enough to hold all this. And at the same time, you have the rubber lining, making sure everything is nice and sealed. The tools you're gonna need are a razor blade, which is for cutting this little lining. That way you can get the exact cuts, exact measurements for each of the fender flares. You're gonna need a 13mm socket, which is for the nut that comes with these hex bolts. So this is what's gonna be giving it that rivet effect, or the rivet style effect. And then you're gonna need the hex key for these, which already comes in the kit, so you don't really have to worry about getting that. So it's very simple. There's not a lot of tools needed, and it's something you can do on the weekend in your garage or wherever you're at, or even outside if you don't mind the sun. But let's go ahead and get started on installing this. These fender flares are paintable, so what it means is that they come smooth. They don't come with a texture. But I'm not gonna go ahead and paint them just yet. I'm gonna run them black for a while, see if we like the look, and then if we decide we don't like it, I might have to paint them, color match them to the vehicle. But for now, I'm gonna leave them like that. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is go ahead and put on the rubber lining, which is fairly simple. This is what's gonna protect, your OEM paint from getting scratched up by the fender flare. So let's go ahead and do that on all 4 of them. Put that on like that, and then the nut is gonna go through the back, and we're gonna bolt it on. Alright guys, the fronts are now installed. When you order your kit, make sure you order a kit specifically for your year and your model, because you don't want to have to be customizing something like this. So with the ones that I ordered, all I actually had to do was go ahead and bolt it onto the factory spots. So as you guys can see down there's a bolt that just bolts straight in, and those are the ones that hold in the inner fender liner. So with the same thing, you just go ahead and bolt all of the ones that you have, you know, if you have holes for. If some of them don't have holes, since like this kit didn't come with some holes, I just went ahead and made them with the drill. It's really simple to do. Just try to line them up as much as you can, and there it is, bolted on, and it looks nice. It looks so aggressive right now, especially with the wheels that I put in have a -12 offset, so it lines them up really nice with this little fender flare. All right, so now that we're done installing the front ones, you know, those are nice and secure with bolts. I was reading through the instructions, and it actually said that for the rear, it takes a little clip. So this little clip is what holds on the back. So I'm kind of iffy on it. I don't want to, you know, be driving down the freeway and then all of a sudden one of the fender flares comes off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick a bolt on here. So I'm going to go ahead and drill it, insert a C-clip with a nut, and then just go ahead and bolt it on, at least on the top center, just so that I know that that's not gonna come off. It's not gonna just all of a sudden come off. And then I'm gonna try to see if I can put the clips on, and if they're too difficult to install, because they look like they're a pain and they don't really want to bend, I might just go ahead and drill holes for the rest of it and bolt it on also, just so I have a more secure fitment. So let's go ahead and install this. These clips are not easy to install at all, but I found that it was easiest when I put the clip on the fender flare first, and then just kind of push the fender flare in and hook it to the back part of the metal. That way, you know, it just hooks on, and it's really difficult to put on. So I'm guessing that's one of the reasons why they decided to go with this method, because it's really tight. It's actually holding on really well. But just for the added safety, you know, I put that bolt up there just to make sure that there's something else holding it and it's not just gonna fly off. So yeah, that's pretty much all I did for the installation on the rears. It's very simple. So let me go ahead and finish off putting on the clips, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like at the end. Alright guys, we are finally done. That only took a couple hours to do, probably like between 1 and 3 hours, depending on if you've done it before or if it's your first time. It's actually really simple, since it's just, you know, they're already made to what you need them, to where you need them to be, and they just bolt on. And in the back they have clips to clip on, but you know, I did a little bit of custom work to be able to bolt it on, to have that extra little strength to hold it on and make sure it's not gonna fall off on me. But I'm sure that the clips that it comes with and the way the instructions originally are planned work just fine. But you guys see, I didn't throw a big old lift kit on it or throw some huge tires. The tires are actually the same size as the OEM ones that come with it. The only thing I did is when I ordered the wheels, I just got them with a -12 offset, so they stick out a little bit further than usual, thus lining up with these fender flares a bit better. They're not quite perfect, they're not lined up, you know, they're not sticking out more than they are like they are in my FRS, but they still look nice. It gives the nice OEM kind of look, to where it's not too crazy, but it's a little bit inward, but it works. And that's what we wanted, since it's a truck that we use for towing. We wanted to still drive like OEM. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope it was helpful. If you guys have any questions, please leave a comment down below. And if you like the video, please go ahead and leave a like or share with your friends. And as always, you guys have a great day.